two senior girls who already played senior women's team, and they came back with a high note, and the girls are very happy to see them on the squad, and these girls are guiding these young players a lot, and this always positive sign for them. I always prefer the young girls to follow the football. They watch football and they learn football. They always just try to put their effort and just try to be show their talents show their talents, and come to the national team, work hard and make their names. They pay. Now the sport is a livelihood also. See, I'm just focusing on their developmental prospects only, and these girls are developing every day. And as the tournament progresses, I'll look into these girls in the progressive development. I'm looking to these girls as a progressive development, and hopefully at the end of the tournament, I want to see these girls play a good football.
Well, Suren Chetri, his efforts has been commendable, especially with binding this young team together. A lot of things to deal with at this age, where the players' mood swings are very often among the players of this age, and it's a very young team, and then had to deal with a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand what Chetri is going through, and it's a lot of hard work. I'm very sure it's off the pitch, more work to be done. Definitely, the assistant coaches there, Nivedita, I think they are doing a tremendous job. It's the practices are for 2 hours. The rest of the hours, what you are in the hotel or in the room, or the girls, and especially these are young girls, and they are growing, they are getting matured. So it is a lot of tough things because, as you said, mood swings are there, fights are there, small arguments are there. To take care, it's really, and to take care of this 22 girls or 25 girls in a group, it is difficult. But really, both the coaches are, well to do, and they are, in the game for a longer period. I'm very sure, I'm very happy these people are there in this group and who can really take these girls into a higher level. And these girls are called, you can say now we have 2 Indian teams, like 1A and 1B. So these girls are also into a senior team level. Maybe today or tomorrow they'll play for the senior team. So it's really good.
And inconsistency is also a very big barrier, especially at this level among these younger players. How do coaches handle this? Means, how is the training sessions are scheduled for the players to overcome it?
Earlier it was difficult, but now as the media has taken a major role in the thing, the girls want to be in the limelight, girls want to play now, girls want to perform because it's in the TV or it's telecasted, or you get your recordings. So the girls want to perform well. Earlier days it was difficult for the coaches because girls should think koi nahi dekh raha, chalo kuch, you could do some shortcuts. But now it's no more. I think girls, few especially if I say from my national point, when I was in the team, it should be, sometimes it should be difficult, but as soon as we started getting the analysts, the girls have been up. Girls want to do something more, girls want to do something which is outstanding, girls want to do something which is not in a daily schedule. So in a match, girl will try and if it is a score, or if it's a good pass, or if it is a through pass, there are a lot of things girls do nowadays than before. So I think it is good because the social media has come in also and helped the women's team to grow.
Especially Priyanka Devi and Apurna Narsari, the joint top goal scorers with 8 goals in this Arrows team. And Priyanka especially slotting seamlessly into that number 10 role, playing just behind the front 3 and keeping the likes of Amisha Baksla out. How difficult is it for a head coach to select the playing 11 when there is so much competition among the team?
I think the coach will definitely have a tough time, but I think he will be the happiest man if he has more players and he has to select from that. Normally it should be we have few players and make the rest of the team, it should become difficult. But I'm sure that Chetri is having a good time, but because he has more girls and he could choose players, and he has the best players at this age. I'm for sure this Priyanka, Martina, these girls are they were in the national team pathway from 2000, when they were 13 years old. So they have this follow up, and they have gone to different coaches, they have come back to different coaches, and they have with Chetri. So I'm very sure that he will also say this, that these are one of the best players at the age of what they are the best players, and to handle them definitely Chetri will, do his best, and he can mold them. He can, change some positions, or, for a given match. But yeah, he's also, taking the chances. But certain positions what he have given to the girls, I think they sit into that perfectly. So I think he also gets the credit, how to mold the team or how to get a player in that position. It's perfect. But
Talking about Martina Thakcham, her inclusion in this Indian Arrows team, she's been the backbone of the team, a protective screen in front of the back four, a very tall physical player, cuts off the passing lanes from defense to midfield. And she's almost like a mental block for the attackers.
yeah, by looking at her, she's a block because you can see her height, build, weight. She's solid, and she's literally solid in her position. I remember she was the first time she came to the national team. It was like 13 years old, and I was the coach of this under 15 team. She was very shy. She had long hair, very dull, not talking much because they were only speaking Manipuri. So to get them out of the shells, we had to do a lot of off-field sessions like dancing, some games, TV watching sessions where they could talk to each other, because those years we were staying in hostels, so it was becoming difficult. But then, slowly they came, and her debut in the national team was with the senior team, into the national team, and that I think really helped her to grow. She had the physics, she had the maturity of the game, and she got more experience with the senior team. Plus, now she's playing with this young, like her age group girl. I think she's doing quite well in that, and hopefully in coming years she's one of the key player. Maybe she might be the key player in the senior team also. But she is solid, as you said, a block. She plays the link between the defenders and the forward line. She is a link and she is a block.
How difficult is it going to be for ARAFC today, especially against this rampaging Indian Arrows side? What are the precautions you think that ARAFC should take in the first half, especially because once you stop this Indian Arrows team from scoring goals early, that could be a possibility for ARAFC to make something happen in this game.
I really cannot say anything because I don't know what is the coach coming up. What is his plan and things. But for sure, he might he'll come out like scoring first and staying back, or stack and scoring later. So some plans they will definitely have. But Indian Arrows are one team which has an arrow in them. So you have to be careful of that. So the girls also, after scoring, they had these arrows, and that really shows how confident the girls are on field. And so definitely it'll be difficult. I'm not saying this match will be one-sided or easier, but it'll be difficult for them. So they have to come with certain plan, like how they will hold them and score, or score and hold back. So either one of the plan have to be key and top for the match today's.
And just from a few distance from here, Gokulam Kerala at the Battalion Ground will be taking on Sirvadam Sports Club. The side from Goa also gained momentum by winning their last couple of games. But Gokulam Kerala cannot settle for anything less than 3 points tonight in order to stay in the title race along with Setu Madurai and the team. Setu Madurai definitely will be keeping an eye on this particular clash.
Yes, a team from Goa definitely will have a tough match today. It will not be easier because Gokulam has a good side and they are running on the win. They have not stopped anything lesser than a win, and they also want to stay on top of the table. So it will be definitely difficult for the Goan side, but you can never say how the coach gets them prepared for a match. We never know what can be the result, how they have put up, and what are their plans. Maybe they might just play. You never know. Play for a draw, and Gokulam might have a tough time to get the ball in the net. But let's just wait and watch, because Gokulam is in that drive or ride, or you can say they are just going through. So let's wait and watch the match.
And I'm sure the Setu Madurai players back in their team hotel will be hoping for some kind of slip up from this Gokulam Kerala's flawless side.
Yes, definitely. They will be like, you can say they will be praying badly. They will be supporting Goan team like anything, because they need, like, Gokulam should go for a draw or loss. But Gokulam also will come prepared. So Madurai also needs to, do some kind of a magic for the result to be negative. Let's see what happens.
And how welcoming was the decision of All India Football Federation to introduce this Indian Arrows concept in the Hero Indian Women's League? You think they have the Arrows men's team in the I League, and they have really impressed so far. The women's team as well in their debut season, raring for the top three finish.
I think the whole credit is for to AIFF, how they have had this plan and how they executed it and how they wanted to get this Indian Arrows team. It was difficult. Few girls, as Chetri also had mentioned, and what I also know, the few girls stepped back and they went to their own state or club, and they had exams, and to form this team was difficult. But the plan what AIFF really had, and they have executed it, they did it. And I think the credit, definitely we need to thank AIFF for this Aero team, because this is team, I said, as for seniors, like this will be the B team for the seniors, and plus they will be under 18 team which will play under 20 or under 21. So I think it's a great initiative by AIFF. I'm very happy with this. From my side, personal view, I'm very happy, because time when I was also with the national team, in fact, I was telling, give us a chance to play in IWL. Like we, the senior national team, should play, because we were getting less matches. But then federation had the whole, the plan for the national team to travel abroad, come back, and then go for I-League, and the girls could go to different teams and get some money and things. But having these young girls together and forming this Indian Arrows team, the credit goes to AIFF. Really happy with that.
There have been a lot of youngsters emerging through this competition. If I ask you to name a few who've impressed you this season, attackers, they always take away all the plaudits. You can mention about the defenders, the fullbacks, or the goalkeepers that have impressed you so far in this competition.
If you see, there are many. You can say, in fact, in Gokulam team also there are few youngsters. I should include Manisha also in one of the youngsters in the team. So there are these girls who are you could name many, because Aero's team is full of youngsters. You name one defender, that's it. They are all youngsters. And even in the AR, the opponent who are playing today, the ARK, they also have a lot of youngsters, because I know these girls, Poonam, Kiran, they all were from the national squad. So there are also youngsters. If you say Goa team, there are youngsters. So I will definitely not name one, but I'm very sure after this league we are finding more players for the national team. That's what we want from this league. Especially as a team coach, I wanted to see more of players coming in. We normally see nationals, we go for some scouting plans, we go and scout in different states. But in this IWL, it's so easy to find players this time, because there are a bigger platform, more teams, more matches, so it becomes easier for the coach to find players. But I'm very sure there are a lot of youngsters. Please don't tell me to name one, because it will be very bad for the rest of the girls who will say, ma'am has named my name and the rest. But it's a lot of players. I can definitely say it's good. It's good. The youngsters are coming up, and the future definitely of women's football looks very bright.
When you go as a scout, what are the qualities you look for in a player? Suppose, say, a defender or a goalkeeper.
In fact, we have a full kind of a chart. What we, once we go for a scouting, because the head of scouting department is Vikram, and we have a, whole chart when we are looking for certain position players, because certain position players need different. If you say defender, like a fullback needs something else, the center back needs something else. So it is different positions. It is different. If it is defending midfielders need something else, attacking midfielder needs something else. So we have a whole kind of list where we think, okay, this girl can do this, girl can do that. So then we sit back. Maybe some players we choose in IWL, if we have selected a right back and we are planning to make her a winger. So that also we need to think, okay, she can play a second position also. But only leaving goalkeepers, we don't find a second position for, like, goalkeeper is goalkeeper, but all the rest player we try to have two positions, and a lot of things are involved. But earlier days we should just go and see if girl can run and kick the ball. That's the difference between earlier scouting and now, once the scouting thing has come into a proper system. So it is good. But now I can, when I sit and watch the matches, I can find so many left footers, especially in the teams. This IWL, earlier to find a left footer, it was so difficult. So once I had seen Manisha, I was like, thank God we are getting some left footed. But to prepare Manisha to this level, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of years, it took a lot of manpower, I could say. But yes, she is there and now she's shining. But there are to get natural left footers were difficult. But this IWL, you can see most of the girls using both the feet, so it becomes easier for the coach, to give her two positions. So it is good. I can say that.
Well, that brings us to the end of our show, and now we're going to end with your prediction for today's game.
Arrows.
So, well, let's go back to
That's
the
it.
Capital Ground. Well, live action coming up your way. Stay tuned. And thank you so much for joining us, Rocky Man. And welcome to the Hero Indian Women's League as we return with ARA Football Club against the Arrow side, two teams which have found fortune and frustration in equal measure. But the fact that they are playing today is absolutely fantastic, and we go again after a couple of days as ARA Football Club, despite being at the bottom half, have much to hope and play for with the with the Hero Indian Women's League title getting tighter than ever. Well, ARAFC side with 2 wins in 5 Hero Indian Women's League matches will be looking forward to grabbing more points, and the head coach Preet Bhatt answered a couple of pre-match questions ahead of facing the Indian Arrows, and when asked about the preparations and the season so far, he said the team is quite positive and confident for the next game as they will try to execute their plan and will go for the win. The ARAFC side, they would like to learn from the mistakes of the last game and will try to be more compact in defense. And quizzed about the opponents, Preet said the opponents are a good team and they respect them but are not scared at all, looking to go with a spirited attitude, and match by match the players are getting better, and it has been a learning experience for the side from Gujarat. And well, the head coach Preet Bhatt, very candid while talking
game
to
for
us.
us because the last game was not a good game for us. So we'll try to overcome the mistake and we'll try to have a better football in this game.
And you'll be facing Indian Arrows today. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, they are the good side with mix of young and experienced players. But our team is quite positive and we'll try to execute our plan and we'll stick with the plan.
Now let's get into the team news of ARAFC for this evening. And it seems like Preet Bhatt has gone with 4-5-1 formation but continues with the team shape. Only one change though as expected, as Kamini Munda comes in for Khushbu, and Kiran Poonam continues with her place in midfield, but the main responsibilities up front belongs to Anju. Madhubala is benched due to a slight niggle, but there might still be enough on the pitch to trouble Indian Arrows on the break. And Preet Bhatt last 4 games was wonderful for Kiran as she led the team into the top 7, but this one has been riddled with bad lucks, something which Preet is famous to run from. It has been an up and down and inconsistent run of games for his team, but Poonam has been the model of consistency down the middle. And the bench RIFC can surely brings on the likes of Madhubala and Reenu, and they've also got the pace of Kushum. And this is the Indian Arrows had a successful season so far with 5 wins and a draw to their name. And the head coach Suren Chetri admitted that with matches coming thick and fast, maintaining a decent squad depth will be key. With an entirely new contingent and some popular domestic names, the Blue Tigress have felt no stone unturned as they attempt to assemble a huge and highly competitive squad. The Indian Arrows men's team has been a huge success with several players representing the country and moving on to achieve bigger things in football. And this training at a very young age has truly benefited the Indian Arrows players. And the Arrows women's team and its grassroots level development will benefit women's football in India. And this truly is a step in the right direction for Indian women's football and Indian football. And now let's hear from Suren Chetri, the head coach of Indian Arrows, what he has to say.
Yeah, today's match is also important, and we are looking for these other 2 matches also. As all 3 matches important for us.
A big win in the last match. So are you keeping the same plan or have you changed anything to face that?
Winning is always important. If they win today, I'll be much happy, coach, and the girls are ready to play. And we respect the ARA also. ARA is a good team. Yeah, girls are prepared.
And now let's get into the team news of Indian Arrows for this evening. And they come into this with a selection from the head coach Suren Chetri, and he has to choose it and makes two changes from the team which beat Mata Rukmani by 8-0 in their previous encounter. Parmila comes in at right back alongside the experienced defenders as Priyanka Devi is in midfield and will look to create. Sunita Munda is down the left and a big threat as she is dangerous, and Apurna Narzari will lead the line. There is Priyanka Nauram Devi from Olympic Goals trademark free kicks. She will hope to be at the heart of all the good things that Arrows produced this evening, allowed to play a more advanced role this season as she has come up with her best goal and assist return in all her years in the Hero Indian Women's League. And this is the Arrows bench. Sunita Munda, the size and presence of Martina and creativity of Priyanka Devi has shown a shade of excellent play this season. The match officials for today's game, the referee Chitramba Patra. She's going to be assisted by Shishadev Behra and Reshmi Chetri. The fourth official for today's game is Kanika Burman and match commissioner Adley Costa. Well, if Arrows manages to win tonight, it will take them above kickstart to third. And if ARA manages to win, top 6 going to be within touching distance for them. Well, not a lot separates Indian Arrows from the top 3. And these 3 points will get them there. For ARA FC, they will stay where they are, but they have been battered with injuries and unforeseen departures. And no Madhubala, no Khushbu and Shreya among the starters. And in their absence, the likes of Kiran, Anjut have been setting examples in the image of Preet Bhatt, showing spirit and showing fervor. But they will need all of that and more. But for the Indian Arrows, a fine start which hasn't faltered, and they are still within the reach of the crowded top half in the table, and 3 points will take them to third. But they must be careful of not conceding goals. But they kept a clean sheet against Mata Rukmani on that evening, and Priyanka Devi scored 4 goals and gave them that 8-0 victory. They were flying high. Then that win had taken them to 4th in the table. Today they fight for a different goal, different times, and the Hero Indian Women's League is always different every week. Well, not long ago, we were talking about Indian Arrows as an outside contenders. We'll come back to that after this anthem. The Indian Arrows can still be called that with a selection of players: Apurna Narzari, Priyanka Naurem, Amisha Baksla, Sunita Munda. Setting up a roster is really very difficult from winning games, and that defense is going to be tested this evening. This is the match referee with the 2 captains. Anju of ARA and Adrija is the skipper of this evening for the Indian Arrows side. They have preferred rolling skippers. It's always good to have that kind of a system in the team, and each and every player getting a chance to wear the captain's armband. And that keeps a healthy competition among the players in the team. And so the Indian Arrows side
which are in orange for this evening. They will hope for a victory, and if they find it, this season will be kick-started once again. And with every victory, the Indian Arrows side also bridging a gap with third-placed Kickstart Football Club. That is going to be very interesting to see which team occupies the third spot. The battle for it is still on. The top two spots very much occupied by Gokulam Kerala and Setu Madurai. Both the sides have been unstoppable. And Gokulam Kerala taking on Sirivadam Sports Club at the 7th Battalion ground. And that game is also slated for 3:30 p.m. kickoff. We'll keep updating you about the score later in the day. Setu Madurai will be taking on SSB Women. That is going to be a cracker of a contest from the Kalinga Stadium. 3 mouth-watering fixtures waiting your way this evening. And the matches are live and exclusive on Eurosport and also on the YouTube channel of the Indian football team. Well, for the Indian Arrows, the form has been as decent as the drop in that of ARA FC. Preet Bhatt made a decent start and has games in hand to shoot up the table. Instead, they have stagnated with a loss in the beginning. Finishing is always a problem for ARA FC, but they will have to change that this evening here at the Capital Ground. And we are underway. This is match number 49. And the match number 50 at the Battalion Ground is going on between Gokulam Kerala and Sirivadam Sports Club. And so some respite and some relief as ARAFC they are in their usual dark colours and also in dark patch of forms up against the Arrow side, and two teams have become perennial dark horses for the top 5 finish. And the side from Gujarat led by Preet Bhatt, who fights hardest with his back to the wall and makes his team do exactly that, and managed to clinch a couple of victories in the last 4 encounters. It is 4th versus 7th, but everything is still within reach, and nearly 23 goals conceded in unisons by these two teams, and they have played this campaign. It is hardly ever cumbersome. It is almost always wonderfully chaotic. And ARAFC up against the Arrows. These 3 points one might think are not important, but tell you what, they are very, very vital. And this one for sure guarantees goals, guarantees entertainment. And entertainment, those are just anti-words. As we know, nothing is quite guaranteed in the Hero Indian Women's League, especially this season. There's some breathtaking football, and that we've seen some unpredictable results as well. And prime among them was the game between SSB and Sirivadam. And lots of surprises in store for us, and whether we are in for another one this evening. The next 90 minutes will decide. A throw in for ARA Football Club. This is Kiran, the skipper. She's been the live wire for ARFC in the midfield. The creator-in-chief. The shot from Kamini Munda going wide, and Khushbu, she is on the bench, and Kamini Munda is getting a start. She will have to take a claim for that position, try and solidify her position in the starting 11. Ball into the feet of Apurna Narzari. Tried to slip in Priyanka. And now there she is on the ball. Priyanka opens up a body. It was a sliced attempt. And the ball runs down all the way towards Sunita Munda. Priyanka again squeezing in between a couple of dark shirts. And it's ARA having the ball back through the number 12. That is Manisha in the center circle for Poonam, the Indian sub-junior international who lifted the SAF Under-18 championship in Jamshedpur last month. And this is Manisha trying to check onto her favorite left foot. Quickly closed down by Pushpa Rani. Stopped on her tracks, the number 12. And ARAFC looking for a quick start, and both the teams have got a lot of youngsters in their ranks. And you can already have a look at the pace of the game within the first 4 minutes. It looks pretty decent. And that is bound to happen, especially with the youngsters around. And the Arrows will look to move the ball around a lot more quicker. Things need to change quickly in the final third. Poonam. She is marshalled by Martina Thakcham. That is what Martina is well known for. Slotting into the back four and trying to outnumber ARAFC. Using her physique, using her strength. That protective screen in front of the back four. Stays very passive and cuts off the passing lane from defense to midfield. And that allows the fullback to stay deep as well and tie up the opposition's wingers. Indian Arrows very narrow while defending. Just tries to squeeze out every inch of space near the center circle and suffocate the attackers of the opposition. This is a clever ball for Anju, and she pulls it across the face of goal. And no one was waiting at the back post. And closer shaves for the Arrows. And that is a rude awakening for the All India Football Federation's developmental side. Apurna Narzari killing the bounce and finding Sunita Munda. She is one-on-one with Poonam. Manisha winning the ball back, and she is carrying it forward. One touch too many. Martina leaves it for Pushpa Rani. And now Sunita Munda near the halfway line. Cushions it behind towards Mushkan. She looks for that attempted crossfield ball. Easily defended by the team in grey. A slow, patient build-up from the Arrows. Not in a hurry. They have the confidence of building it out from behind. They are very good on the feet. They've got good technique as well. It also gives a belief around the fans and along the viewers as well. If the players are drilled in the right way, even the Indians can pass the ball around this way. And now Poonam trying her luck from distance. It was dipping. A late swing was involved. And Adrija kept her eyes on the ball till the last minute. And never easy. Under sunlight. Stood very firm there. And the Arrow skipper of this evening. You got to close her down. Because she is capable of testing the goalkeeper from that sort of range, and Indian Arrows cannot allow time and space to Poonam in midfield to string those passes, to take those long shots. She is known for her passing and crossing range. Also can play those through balls and those defense splitting passes to nullify the pressure. More of a fulcrum in the ARAFC midfield. Playing very matured football in this tournament. The most positive thing about her is that she always insists of wanting to play with the ball despite technical difficulties involved and a steep learning curve that comes along with it. She is poised to become the fulcrum for the country and for her club in the near future. Martina shrugging off the challenge, and what a ball from the number 6. Shraddhanjali Panda tried to clear it first time, but it came off the shins of Aarti. Shraddhanjali Panda not going to make life easy for Aarti this evening. Suren Chetri. And the Arrows have had a brilliant season so far. Might be the opening goal. Still action inside the 6-yard box. There's that overhead kick. Shot comes in. Wonderful save. With her feet this time, Manisha pulling off a fine save and denying Apurna Narzari inside the 6-yard box. Excellent reaction save from the goalkeeper. Getting down on time. Silver reflexes. Oh, now she fumbles and Priyanka Devi lay off for Apurna Narzari. Once again there's a save. It's still open for the Arrows. Comes off the woodwork. And third time unlucky, the number 12. And somehow the ball has not gone in. And it remains same at 0-0. A lot of actions, lot of goalmouth chaos. But Manisha got to be credited for making 3 saves in quick succession. Remarkable stuff. That will boost her confidence. Let's have a closer look at the instant replay. Sunita Munda was very much interested, and then that overhead pass for Apurna Narzari. First time shot is blocked. Defenders still not managing to clear their lines. And then comes Apurna from a tight angle, draws another save, and keeper was off her line, and then her left-footed attempt coming off the woodwork and then smacked away by the team in grey. Apurna Narzari, they could have squared it rather towards Priyanka. For a moment, Manisha did spill the ball. Warning signs already for ARAFC. Defense got to be a lot more compact. While still thinking about lining up this formation, there are some important things we need to understand. Things like the overall impact on the formation has on the defense, attack, transition, and even set pieces. The beauty about every formation includes this one is they can mop into different formations depending on where the ball is. It's headed behind for a corner. And finally some defending to do for the Arrows. This is Nisha in corner duties. Now Nisha's ball in. That was quite inviting for Kiran, but she simply could not connect with an impending half volley. And the chance was gone immediately for ARA. Now Sunita Munda, she's on the run. Excellent tracking back from Poonam. The full back and the winger, very, very quick. Is going to be an interesting battle between the number 2 and Indian Arrows' number 11. Here's Pushparani Chanu, plays it inside the box. Collected with ease by Manisha. Kept in play. Not really. It has crossed the line for a throw-in. Shraddhanjali Panda helps it on towards Anju. Slightly flabbergasted by the bounce. This is Santosh having a wonderful season. She's been one of the star defenders in the Hero Indian Women's League this season, along with Sweetie Devi of Kickstart. Muskan onto the loose ball between the lines for Priyanka. Wonderfully done. Arrows are planning something this time. Martina. She's got a wonderful footballing brain. The number 6 also represented the Indian women's senior side. Is collected by Priyanka in the edge of the area. Looking for that 1-2, didn't work out. Quickly closed down by Niketa. Another sub-junior international. Poonam, Niketa, Sunita Munda and Purna Narzari, all of them are part of the same team, the same squad, which lifted the SAF Under-18 title for the very first time by the virtue of better head-to-head record against Bangladesh, who were the defending champions. Martina thought about a long pass, opting to go short instead. Sunita Munda not allowed to turn. A couple of dark shirts quickly converging around her. And there's the covering from Santosh. A wonderful ball forward. Poonam is covering. Hot on her heels is Sunita Munda. Finding the right player in Manisha. Squares it for Nisha. She's stucking slightly inside. Manisha likes to drop deep. Likes to drift onto the flanks from her striker's position. And the ARA Football Club have an extra man spare in midfield in Kamini Munda, who is slightly more defensive. Yes, sloppy defending from the Arrows. Loses out possession into an important area. Cross comes in. A comfortable collection for Drija. And ARA Football Club played out a 1-all draw against PIFA in the previous game. That was on Friday, the 13th May, at the Capital Ground. Conceding a late goal, and Aku bringing back PIFA into the match. The team from Ahmedabad took the lead in the early stage of the game and showed much composure behind the ball. And the skipper Anju made a penetrative run through the PIFA Sports defense and caught the goalkeeper out from distance to make it 1-0 within the opening 15 minutes. The two sides looked evenly matched at the half-time break, as both shared a similar amount of ball possession and attempts. But yet ARA FC managed to hold on to their lead until the 70th minute of the match. PIFA Sports kept pressuring the ARA FC defense, with Nisilia coming tantalizingly close to scoring the 71st minute. Finally, it was the sub Kandalkar, known as Aku, who pulled one back for the Mumbai side in the 73rd minute. The forward controlled the ball off a corner kick, beat a defender and took her chance from the edge of the area to find the back of the net. It was an end-to-end encounter between the two teams, and they shared almost equal number of shots on goal. And eventually the game ended with both teams scoring a goal apiece and heading home with a point each. They are on 10 points from 8 matches, placed 7th. Are they on the route to resurgence? Kiran over the top. A chase on from Manisha. Away from Pushparani. Beautifully done by the number 20. Puts it into the channel for Sunita. The ARA FC defense was very alert. Poonam. It's gone Arrows' way. The Indian Arrows women's team featuring in the extended format of the Hero Indian Women's League, with 12 teams fighting it out in a round-robin format to determine the champions. There is, however, another new element to the league this season. Over the past few years, we've seen the Indian Arrows compete in the I-League, later supply the senior men's national team with number of talented youngsters, and now it's the Indian Arrows women's team. They'll have to carry on with that legacy. It's very important that the Indian Arrows women's team start to play in the Hero Indian Women's League, and that has happened. It's basically a developmental side for the senior national men's team, women's team, and that is essential for the ecosystem. And it will help them get the experience they need to prepare them for the international football in future. The players will get the experience of playing against the best in the country and play against a new opponent every week, which will help them understand how to perform against different kinds of opponents. It will ultimately be good for the players and for the team as well. And this is Muskan. Moves it on quickly towards Priyanka, capitalizing on the loose touches of number 11. I saw that coming, Priyanka, but was quickly closed down. Muskan is squaring it for Martina. And now Martina tried to move forward, holding her run in the end. On to the second ball, the number 6 takes a floating attempt. It's gone wide for a goal kick. It was a decent try by the number 6. Panda. I cannot go past Parmila. She is slightly caught out of position, but the referee calls back play for a foul. Right corner of the penalty area, takes it, Anju. Perfectly placed at her near post, Adrija. A couple of attempts from 20 yards out, from both the teams in fact. The clear-cut chance of falling to Apurna Narzari in this game. And in the opening first 10 minutes. And the third time she was denied by the post. Muskan with that high interception, winning it nicely for Priyanka. Priyanka digs it out, cross comes in. Just too much power on the cross. Difficult for either of the players to control. Priyanka, a couple of orange shirts, and that went straight to the keeper. Sunita Munda's attempt, using the outstep of her right foot. Manisha trying to skip past Muskan, running out of space. The Indian Arrows, they are just simply aiming to build the future while giving the talented players regular playing time in the domestic league, and while the focus on improving the footballing attitude and aptitude of the players remains of paramount importance. And this coaching staff at the Indian Arrows is also looking to ensure overall development for the Indian Arrows. This is Manisha finding some spaces. Anju, a good block. Martina in the way. Quickly, Indian Arrows winning the ball. And once again, Martina Thakcham and Pushparani combining. marshalling that hole in front of the back four. And she usually makes a load of interceptions. And during the SAF Under 18 Championship, we saw her play as a centre back against Bangladesh. The game in which India defeated Bangladesh by 1-0. This time takes a look up and delivers. Might be a shooting chance. A side-footed attempt from Manisha. Runs straight to Adrija. Collected by Apurna. A touch not satisfactory. Poonam on the overlap. Clever flick from Anju. Flag stays down. Manisha's cross. An important touch there from the number 3 Shashi Kumar. Shanmuga Priya Shashi Kumar. Partnering Santosh in central defense. Is Martina moving the ball forward for the Arrows. Apurna Narzari and dropping near the halfway area to recover the ball. And ARAFC quite successfully crowding out Arrows in midfield. Priyanka could fall kindly for her, but aware to the danger was Shraddhanjali Panda. And whistle for the drinks break, and so it's 0-0 between Indian Arrows and ARAFC here at the Capital Ground. And the best chance of the game falling in favor of the team in orange. The blue tigress in orange flavor. A couple of glorious chances for the Arrows. We'll try and have a look at those wasted opportunities. This was the first one. Sunita Munda tried to break through and set that one up with that overhead kick towards Apurna Narzari, and on rushing number 12. Her attempt saved by Manisha. And then from the acute angle, and I think a pullback would have been a viable option because there was a couple of orange shirts waiting on the edge of the 6-yard box, but she was well within her rights to go for goal. And eventually on the follow-up hitting the woodwork. And that is how Apurna Narzari was denied thrice. Twice by Manisha. And third time by the post. Also chance for the head coaches to give in their ideas, address the mistakes. You can see the team manager as well, Abhishek Singh for the Arrows. And Preet Bhatt. trying to motivate his troops. This season in the Hero Indian Women's League, the Capital Ground, we saw matches of much lower intensity, especially in the last 20 minutes with tiring legs around. And that is not going to be an issue for these two teams, though. They have a lot of youngsters in their side. They've got the energy on their legs too, and the willingness to run beyond 90 minutes with tremendous stamina and endurance. Here's Martina, slightly heavy, and quickly pouncing onto it is Poonam. Martina and Poonam just commiserating, two national team players, two colleagues rather, at the national side. There was a foul committed on Apurna Nursery. Good height on the free kick near the edge of the area. Try to nod it down, Sunita Munda. Lots of grey shirts getting back behind the ball. A giveaway to Pushparani, slotting slightly inside the left full back. A call for an early clearance, and it did come from Naketa. Not very convincing though, but it will bring a throw in for the Arrows. Went in early for that, Shraddhanjali. That is one area these players need to work on. And a shot from Priyanka straight to the keeper. On to 8 goals this season. And the Arrows did put up a very strong show against Gokulam Kerala. As I was discussing with the former head coach Mamal Rocky, she also mentioned that it was a very lucky escape for Gokulam Kerala in the second half, as the Arrows fought neck to neck against the defending champions, containing 6 current India women's national team players and also 2 foreign imports, one from Ghana and one from Myanmar. This is Apurna Narzari. Muskan, wonderfully done, turns away from her marker, finds Apurna, nutmegs past Naketa. A clearance from Kavita in the end. And Apurna Narzari, she's been double teamed time and again, and that is the idea. She's got a very neat feet, number 12. She can affect the game in a lot of ways. She often drips onto the wall, onto the flanks, and also charges down the middle. And also very, very clinical inside the box. Can smell the danger within 25 yards. Poonam with a sharp turn. There's the covering defender in Parmila. This time it's smacked over the top. Wonderfully done by Santosh. And now down the line for Apurna. Not finding her teammate. This is Anju, the skipper of ARA, searching for options, finding Nisha. Kiran leaves it for the number 7. In comes the cross. Defended quite confidently by Santosh. Muskan chesting it down, but only helps Kamini Munda instead. Muskan once again tried to nick it off Kiran. This is Anju looking to take on Pushparani. Kiran from distance, and that shot is scuffed. There's a slight deflection in the way, took the sting out of it. And Apurna, beautifully done towards Priyanka. Cut out by Shraddhanjali Panda. She was pretty close to the danger. Muskan trying to kill the bounce. Layoff for Martina. Now stepping in is Aarti. A lot of orange shirts available for options. Another wave of attack coming up. The flag went up immediately. Looking much organized at the back, the ARAFC side, than the previous game. Playing to their strength. They have managed to win the midfield battle in the first half. And Priyanka Naurem slightly subdued, with about 3 minutes of regulation time remaining in this half. And now Nisha getting there with her pace. She is one-on-one against Shashi Kumar, gets the better of the number 3. Manisha keeps going. Wins the corner for ARA. Getting a foot in was Shashi Kumar. In fact, it's Nisha, the number 11. Lean and lanky. The wide midfielder. Can play on the left, can play on the right. Preferably a left footer. Corner comes in. And not the greatest of the clearance. Poonam arranges it for Nisha. And Nisha hangs it into the penalty area. Headed away by Santosh. Comes right back in off the wall. And then the loose ball smacked away by Priyanka Naurem and now Puna Narzari. They could trigger a very quick counter here. Arrows. Aarti. Panda returns the favor. Santosh chips it into space. There's that more marauding run from the right full back. Keepers clearly saw that. Skipping past the challenge. Shashi Kumar with a no-nonsense clearance. And just a minute of regulation time remaining in this half. It's still 0-0. 3 minutes of additional time. That is what is the word from the technical area. It's going to be 3 minutes added on. Martina under pressure. Sees it though. Apurna Nazari. Excellent turn and pass. A lot of space for Priyanka. Priyanka takes her time, looking for support in and around that penalty area. Behind for Martina. Good clean catch for Manisha. The more she gets on the ball, the confidence just keeps on growing. Those couple of quick saves, especially giving her that rhythm. Anju. She has got Shashi Kumar for company. Waiting for Nisha to arrive. And Nisha takes control and drags it towards the corner area, forced a bit wide. Still keeps it in play. Poonam's ball. Beautifully brought down for the number 10. She went for it. Kiran just couldn't get the angles right. Just moving on to the ball. Poonam very composed. And what a ball for Anju. It's still Anju. Support arrives in the form of Manisha. Tried to squeeze it towards the number 12. Not on the same wavelength, those two attackers. A quick counter could be launched, but there was plenty of protection behind. There's a certain calculation in how ARAFC plays. Limited risks taken. The first plan will be to see the first half go through. If they manages to keep a clean sheet, they know then they're very much into the game. Priyanka finding Apurna Narsari. That's a beautiful ball from Muskan, and she opens the scoring. And just at the stroke of half time, Indian Arrows takes the lead here. And one moment of madness brings down 46 minutes of good play. And that ball was arrowed by Apurna Narsari towards Muskan. And she steered it into the bottom corner with absolute expertise. And that arrow has made a dent in the ARAFC defense, and that's the end of the first half. between Indian Arrows and ARA FC. And the team in orange go in at the break with a narrow 1-0 lead. And the news from the battalion ground is Gokulam Kerala up by 3-0 against Sirvadam Sports Club. And Gokulam Kerala and their dominance continues. Well, these are the first half stats then. A 61% ball possession for the Arrows, 7 shots taken, 5 on target. Committing only 1 foul. ARA FC committing 2. They're yet to win a corner. Indian Arrows and ARA FC have managed to win it twice already. 2 shots taken by ARA FC, 1 each by Kiran and Kamini Munda. Now let's have a look at the number of shots taken by the Arrows in the first half. 7 in total. Apurna Narzari with 4. Sunita Munda, Priyanka Naudem and Muskan Suba with 1 each. And Apurna Narzari, those 3 quick chances. She will repent if her side fails to pick up full 3 points from this game. Only 2 fouls committed by ARA in the first half. Nisha committing those to the number 11. And only 1 foul committed by the Arrows. Aarti, the number 15 on that list. Well, now let's have a look at the first half highlights then. Match number 49 kicking off at the Capital Ground between ARA FC and Indian Arrows. 2 quality sides up against each other. Early cross not in play. And a through ball for Anju. From a difficult angle, she pulled it across the face of goal. Kiran once again from distance lets fly. Comfortable in the end for Adrija. Arrows with the first chance. Kamini, and that was Sunita Munda setting it up for Purna Narzari. Gets the shot away. Fine save from Manisha. ARS struggled to clear the line. The second shot was saved as well. But third time the post keeping her away. And after a lot of shadow boxing, a lot of jabbing, both the teams looking for that knockout punch. And it was a weak try from Kiran. Once again by the number 10. Towards the end of the first half, this was the moment. Separating these two teams now is the defensive midfielder Muskan moving up into attacking positions and slotting it into the back of the net. And so at half time, it's ARA FC 0 and Indian Arrows 1.
मैं अपूर्ण नर्सरी मैं इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटी में स्ट्राइकर खेलती हूँ। मैं असम से हूँ और मैं असम मेरा टी कोकराझार है और मैं उसके अंदर बंदरगांव खागराबाड़ी में रहती हूँ। बचपन में ऐसे ही दोस्तों के साथ ग्राउंड में जाते थे और उधर से खेलना स्टार्ट किया है बॉयज़ लोग के साथ, ऐसे ही लड़का लोग के साथ। क्लास 8 में साई के में सिलेक्शन देने गई थी। घर में हम लोग 6 मेंबर हैं। मेरे पापा फिजिकल इंस्ट्रक्टर है, मम्मी हाउस वाइफ है और सिस्टर है। हम 4 हैं सिस्टर। सब सपोर्ट करती थी घर से, मम्मी पापा सब सपोर्ट करती। बस बोलती थी ग्राउंड जाओ, ऐसा नहीं कि मत जाओ ग्राउंड में, ऐसा क्या मिलेगा। वो लोग तो मेरे को फोर्स करती थी जाने के लिए ग्राउंड। और सुरन नर्सरी भी हमारे टाउन से ही है और हम लोग उसको भी देख के बहुत सीखे हैं और उसकी बहुत फैन है। ये मेरे लिए बहुत स्पेशल मोमेंट है क्योंकि साहब में भी मेरे को मौका मिला था, अभी भी और एक बार मौका मिला है जो मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा है, जिसमें मैं मेहनत कर सकती हूँ, अपने आप को इम्प्रूव कर सकती हूँ। तो वो ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा चांस है। ये बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है मेरे लिए क्योंकि सीनियर दीदी लोग के साथ खेल के फाइट करके खेलने से अच्छा लगता है, बहुत अपने आप में बहुत खुश होता है। एरोस में मेरे को पहली बार टीम में कैप्टन मिला है, वो मेरे लिए स्पेशल मोमेंट था और डर भी लग रहा था कैप्टन बन के कैसे खेलेंगे, तो उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करके खेल के अच्छा लगा। हाँ, टीम को सपोर्ट करना होता है और टीम को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाना होता है क्योंकि कैप्टन स्ट्रॉन्ग बनेगा तो टीम भी स्ट्रॉन्ग बनेगा। घर वाला अच्छा बोलते हैं कैप्टन बनाए, बोलते हैं कैप्टन बनाए, आप भी अच्छे से खेलो, कैप्टन का जिम्मेदारी निभाओ जो है। इंडियन एरोस टीम हमारी में अभी खेल रहा है, ये अच्छा है क्योंकि हम लोग 11 मैच खेल रहे हैं, वो भी सीनियर एक्सपीरियंस दीदी लोग जो प्लेयर हैं उन लोग के साथ। तो ये हमारे लिए अच्छा है क्योंकि हम लोग आगे अगर मैच खेलेंगे तो वो हमारे लिए अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस होगा, अपने आप को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं खेलने के लिए और अपने आप को स्ट्रॉन्ग बना सकते हैं। और आई होप कि आगे भी ऐसा मौका मिलेगा एरोस टीम।
C sees cheese.
Cheese.
C sees cheese.
I know.
C sees cheese.
Cheese. Don't know.
Flash messes. Flash messes. Last time. Flash
Flash.
messes. Friends fries.
Or ego.
Friends
Best.
fries.
Best.
One more. Friends
Best.
fries.
अरे मैं ऐसे बोल रही हूँ, मैं तो बोल रही हूँ।
Bye. Dribble game.
Game.
Dribble
Super game.
one last. Dribble game.
एक और please. गाना बंद हो गया।
Dribble game.
Dribble game. अरे इतना जोर से चिल्ला के बोल रहे हो तब भी कोई कुछ।
Ice cream.
I swim.
You scream.
You swim.
We all scream for ice cream.
We all
Scream
swim.
for ice cream.
I swim.
I'm thinking. Ice cream.
I swim.
You scream.
You swim.
We all scream.
swim.
Scream.
Kan rồi.
1 point.
Chung ra bảo. Okay.
5.
Oh,
1 out of 5. No, 1.
All on. All on.
Horn. Hot.
हो गया ना?
थोड़ा खोलो.
Rồi đi.
ए,
हो
1.
गया. हो गया gì đâu tôi hãy rồi đi.
2 बार ही बोला.
नहीं तीते.
यार ये फेयर नहीं है. मैं इस तुम्हारे टाइम में इतना जोर से
ऐसे
बोला
मत
था.
बोल.
ए, बोलो.
से देखो.
Hot horn.
नहीं. Hot बोलना बा. Hot hot.
1.
Thought a thought.
Dog. Ông nghe không?
Thought a thought. Không có one chance. Thought a thought.
Thought are thought.
Yeah.
Thought are 1. फिर गैप लो फिर एक बोलो. ठीक है? ऐसा साथ में बोल बताओ.
Super.
Super. Cham.
नहीं. Once more. Super.
Super.
Set.
Cam. I won.
Super. Set. Time over. Done.
Super.
Set.
मैं बोल रहा है तू बोला.
Lui đi. Time up. Peter Piper. Peter Piper.
Peter.
Piper. Piper.
Pamper. Peter.
Piper.
Popper.
Peter Piper. Black background, brown background. Background, brown background.
कितना वर्ड है?
चार है.
कितना वर्ड?
चार.
एक पहले बोलो. एक पहले बोलो.
Black.
एक
Black.
black. Sumber. Black.
Background. Background. Yanlış silakan.
Welcome back to the live coverage of the Hero Indian Women's League and the second half action coming your way from the capital ground in Bhubaneswar. And you're watching the Hero Indian Women's League match number 49 live on Eurosport and also on the YouTube channel of the Indian football team. Today's game is between ARA FC and Indian Arrows, with the Arrows leading by a solitary goal scored by Muskan just at the stroke of half time. And the number 12 Apurna Narzari with the assist. What an inclusion in the team, Apurna. showing traits of a good striker. Great opportunism shown by her in this campaign. Great inclusion though. The first half has been a close affair. It was evenly poised. Half chances fell in favor of ARA. And we are underway with the second half, and the side from Gujarat will have to make sure those half chances turn into full ones in the second half. Kiran with a try from 18 yards out. It was a weak right footer. And so an early free kick for ARA inside their own area. Placing the ball in the center circle is Naketa, the Indian sub-junior international. Puts it towards the edge of the box. An early clearance from Arrows. They'll have to try and look for the second goal. They cannot leave it late. We saw what happened in the game between ARA and PIFA. The side from Maharashtra fighting back in the last quarter. 1-0 is never a safe score line in football, as those cushions can be popped very quickly. And certainly Suren Chetri will be looking for the insurance goal in the second half. And ARAFC just showing signs that they can even attack. They have got good feet in terms of scoring goals, and they have scored 14 goals so far. Arrows have scored 21. And they've got the likes of Madhubala on the bench. She scored against Odisha Police, and that was a 3-1 victory for ARA. Manisha and Nisha really can be very, very handful. Those two. Manisha scored a brace for ARAFC against Hans. Madhubala also on 2 goals. Let's see when she comes on. This is Parmila with the cross down the right. Finding the feet of Muskan. A flag went up. Resmi Chetri putting the flag up for offside. The referee from Sikkim made it to the senior nationals. This is a chance for ARA. Well seen though by Adrija. Not much power on the shot. It fell kindly for Manisha, but onto her weaker side. Priyanka keeping possession. Indian Arrows. Both the sides prepare for a thrilling Hero Indian Women's League clash here at the Capital Ground today. The ARAFC head coach Preet Bhatt quoted that they will be playing against the Arrows, and they are a good side with experienced players, and they will try to be positive and confident for the game. And now Martina Thokchom lets fly. Took a couple of bounds and straight into the grasp of Manisha. And ARA have come into this game with a positive mindset, and they will execute their plan. The team is doing better, and they just want to be focused and try to make fewer mistakes. No such glaring mistakes from their defense this evening, and apart from one late in the first half, going forward has been an issue for them. And Nisha brings it down. Muskan. The ball runs away from her. The clearance also comes off her. And Nakeda. The hopeful ball forward. Finding Aarti. Muskan. Having a very impressive game attackingly. The number 9. Usually known for her defensive abilities. Shot taken a slight deflection. In the Indian Arrows team who've been in superb form this season, and they have caught the eye of many with their outstanding performances. As the head coach Suren Chetri spoke about how the young side is preparing for the remaining games, and they would look to finish as high as possible. Only a couple of losses, 5 victories and a draw. Those 2 losses against 2 good teams. One of them was against Setu and the other one against Gokulam Kerala. 2 top sides battling for the title, placed in 1 and 2 spot in the points table. Free kick goes Arrows' way. A wonderful control from the number 10, Kiran. And Arrows is getting a change ready. Trying to make progress down the right. Here comes ARA. Tried to slip in that pass. Well read there. And the number 17, Shanmuga Priya, will be coming on, and Sunita Munda, she is taken off. Muskan with a wonderful touch for Apurna Nursery. Kamini Munda in the way. She gets the pass towards Shanmuga Priya. Headed away to safety by Nakeda. That high interception from Pushparani. Martina. Whenever the fullbacks they push forward, Martina quickly covers the space. When you've got such a trusted midfield partner, you do have the luxury of pushing up and taking risks with the security of having her behind. She can carry the ball, she can defend and take those long ranges and enforce a in that midfield. A good start already for her in this tournament, and going in confidence with each and every game. We saw her display during the SAF Championship. Adds a lot of bite into that midfield. This is Anju. Anju been allowed time and space. She goes for it. Went slightly off balance. This is something, one area Arrow's got to be very careful of. And now Apurna Narzari. Chesting it into space. And drifting into the channel. Santosh lining up a diagonal. There's the header from Apurna Narzari. It's gone over. A perfect diagonal from the number 14. Finding Muskan inside the box. She went up for it. Couldn't get it goalwards. In fact, it was Apurna Narzari. The number 12 with the header. Using her height. More of a flick header. Beautifully working it through. The flag will stay down. Nisa, chance for the first time cross. And in it comes towards the back post. Oh, slightly high into the roof of the net. And we all thought it would nestle into the second post. And that could have been challenging for Adrija. And not a bad ball from Nisha. Indian Arrows are simply in superb form this season. They have caught eye of many with their outstanding performances. Head coach Suren Chetri spoke about how the young side is preparing. And they will be looking to keep the ball with them and play attacking football. Work from unit to unit. And the ball is with a central defender. There is a defensive midfielder available for the pass. And the defensive midfielder plays it towards the star attacking midfielder Priyanka Naurem. So the move is a lot more fluid. It's from unit to unit. Excellent coordination among the players. They know each other well, finding each other well, excellent precision. And the combination play is simply superb. Culminating with that is the intricate waves of passing. That is what cultivated into that opening goal. Getting her laces tied. She's wearing gloves A teammate helping her out. And so at the hour mark here at the Capital Ground, it's 1-0 in favor of the Arrows. Gokulam leading against Silverdam by 3-0 at the 7th Battalion ground. That is going to be their 9th victory in a row. And given the fact Setu Madurai play SSB next, that will keep the side from Tamil Nadu under tremendous pressure. It's not going to be so easy playing against SSB. They've got Dular Marandi, Ranjita Devi. Both of them can be quite handy. Aside from West Bengal, champions of the Kanyashri Cup. Oh, given away. And that's a very cheap area to give the ball away to. And now Manisha. She is on the chase and tracked wonderfully by Santosh. And gets the block in place. Now she controls it towards the on-rushing Kamini Munda. Didn't really connect. ARA FC. Here they come once more. It's deflected behind for a corner. It's going to be the third corner of this game. They have won 2 of them in the first half. Both of them came to nothing. And that trend needs to be changed now. And almost 9 orange shirts inside the box. Ball sent in. Not a very confident punch from Adrija. Making space for the shot. Whistle has gone before that. Chitrambada Patra, she's whistled already. One more attack. Manisha's ball. Santosh once again. Right place, the right time. Supremely composed. Centre back. Muskan. The long ball forward from Martina towards Priyanka. Priyanka just took her eyes off the ball. The quick 1-2 didn't work out. Purna Narzari easily eased off inside her own half. trying to stay compact in midfield is the ARAFC side. Players one after the other in tandem. In case there is a loose ball, they quickly latch onto it. Still trying to find a pathway. Martina goes over the top. Shanmuga Priya. Pushparani. Martina again. She prefers staying below the halfway line onto that particular region. There's going to be a change in personnel for ARA. Nicely cut out by Santosh. Priyanka. She could have a run at the ARAFC defense. Manisha. In steps Kiran. Manisha ahead of her. Martina giving her a tough time, but she runs away with the ball. The number 10, beautiful footwork. Kiran towards the edge of the area, leaves it for the number 12, but getting the foot in at the right time. Martina using all her experience. So cool and composed, the number 6. So Khushbu will be coming on for ARA. And off goes Kamini Munda. And the ball progression from midfield needs to be better, which is why Preet Bhatt bringing on a central midfielder. This is Poonam on the back heel. Is into touch for a throw in. Proactive running from Anju. Anju inside the box dangerously, past 3 challenges. Couldn't go past Martina, and she seldom lets anyone go past her. Just had to release the press button. Ball swung in. No height onto it. Nisha tipped over by the goalkeeper. That was a good looking cross. She was clearly on. Then the cross comes in. Has the keeper got something on that? It has been given as a goal kick. Initially, it did look like there was a touch involved. And Apurna Narzari pressing the accelerator and trying to cruise past Naketa. with 3 central midfielders, you can always protect the defense, control the center of the pitch, and force the opposition to play out wide. The formation works best with technically competent players who pass, move, recycle the ball around the team. Due to the passing angles, this in turn limits the opposition from retrieving the ball. And the attacking options up front with 3 forwards, there will always be attacking options for the team to exploit, coupled with the fullbacks and midfielders pushing forward. It makes for a potent attacking force. Arrows goes long this time. A towering header from Naketa. On to the second ball, Martina. Apurna Narzari getting onto the ball. Always good to see her willingness. Parmila calls Apurna a yard to play that pass. Priyanka, surrounded by a couple of grey shirts, and Shraddhanjali Panda coming away with the ball. Aarti. Comfortable so far in possession, Indian Arrows. And the ARA is struggling to get the feel of the ball, but that could change here. Most of their attacks are down the right. A quick release. Poonam might get there. Khushbu finding Nisha on the near side. Khushbu again. And that was quite disappointing from the number 9. And the champions of this tournament to play the AFC Club Championship next season. And Gokulam Kerala being the first Indian club to participate by the virtue of winning the 2019 edition of the HIWL Indian Women's League. They would look to defend the title as they have done successfully in the I-League. And Parmila, a pullback is open, and that's an easy tap in from Apurna Narzari. 2-0 for the Arrows. And watch out for the celebration again. Goal number 9 for Apurna Narzari. That was an excellent run from the right full back Parmila. Just angling it towards the number 12. A great idea. On the second drinks break of this evening. This is how it all happened. Flag stayed down and then squaring it towards Apurna Narzari. Just an easy tap in for the number 12. And almost as if going through practice sessions. And so the last quarter of the game remaining here at the Capital Ground. The Arrows, they lead the ARA FC 2 goals to nil. Gokulam Kerala now leading by 4 goals to nil against Sirvadim on the 70th minute mark. Soumya scoring the 4th one for the Malabarians. El Shaddai opened the scoring for the side from Kerala. She is on 15 goals now. A brace from Soumya. Followed by a strike from Dangmei Grace. And Gokulam Kerala just scoring for fun in each and every game. Poonam dispossessed. Martina steps in. She has been certainly caught, it seemed. Apurna Narzari. And now she needs treatment. And giving good company to the likes of Manisha Kalyan and El Shaddai. This is Suren Chetri. He knows it. It was not an easy game at all. Preet Bhatt, his side put up a good show. Conceding that late goal. He just broke the momentum. She is getting treated, Apurna Narzari. Just behind this vantage point. It looks fine though. She has been in a red hot form in this tournament. And the girl from Assam, who tries to emulate Holicharan Narzari and also referred to Holicharan Narzari as her idol. The former Indian international who plays for Hyderabad FC in the Hero ISL. Now Priyanka in the center circle, spreading it to the right, or out of play. Poonam lofting it. A good header from Shanmuga Priya. Shanmuga Priya, there is a player closing in. Well done by the number 3, Muskan. And now down the middle is the number 10, Priyanka. And looking to go past Kavita. One way then the other, Muskan. Aarti is waiting. Steps in is the number 6, and then the shot hits the advertisement board behind. There's gonna be a change for the Arrows. It seems like Apurna Narzari gonna be taken off. And the Arrows down to 10 players. And now this will allow time for the change to take place. Is the number 25, Priyanka, will be coming on. So Apurna Narzari will play no further part in this game. That's the confirmation of the change. Parmila. Now Drija. And the keeper and the fullback beautifully working it out among themselves. Martina Thokcham. She is like a rock, present in front of defense, faces the first bird. Priyanka from deep. A nice one-touch build-up. It breaks eventually. Another player will be going off. This time ARA making the second change. The skipper Anju goes off, handing over the captain's armband to Kiran, and Madhuwala comes on. We are into the last 5 minutes of this game. Khushbu plays it forward. Pushparani recovers. Plays it square to her defensive partner, Santosh. Parmila. One dummy from Santosh. Number 14 to number 14. No such trouble for Adrija in this game. And gets the 1-2 going. Priyanka couldn't take it into her stride. It's a loose ball. Still finding a grey shirt. And now Aarti. Arrows have it back. Muskan, the scorer of the first goal. Shanmuga Priya. Looks long and towards Priyanka. Excellent covering from Shraddhanjali Panda. Manisha. And desperate defending from the Arrows. The ball possession 70-30. A clear dominance shown by the Arrows, especially in the second half. It was even Stevens in the first. That's a beautiful touch. And Nisha, this time can ARA make something happen? It's gone behind. It did seem like it has taken a nick in the way. A referee says goal kick and they were claiming for a corner. The best chance of this game for ARA. Just clipping the crossbar. That could well have been the first goal for ARA in this game, and the keeper was well and truly beaten, Adrija. And now free kick in favor of ARA FC. Just a minute and a half of regulation time remaining on the clock. There's going to be a few minutes of additional time. Probably of 4 minutes. And Naketa swings one in. Call is for the keeper. She fumbles. And it has gone in. And ARA FC, they fight back. This game is not over yet. It's 2-1 here at the Capital Ground. With about 5.5 odd minutes still remaining. And now are we in for a grandstand finish. Butterfingers from Adrija. The ball just slipping through. Shraddhanjali Panda making that particular set piece opportunity count. And now we have a match on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Priyanka looking to take on Naketa. Cutting inside. Now drifting out wide was Aarti. Aarti's cross takes a deflection, but the pace from the ball is reduced. Uh, 4 minutes of injury time. Still about 240 seconds for ARA FC to salvage something from this game. And Naketa, she will pump this one straight into the penalty area once again. That was a testing moment for Adrija again for the second time. Previously she was beaten. This time she grabs it comfortably. Will there be a dramatic ending to this game? And the closing embers are turning out to be quite entertaining. Pushparani taken off and Lakra comes on. There is still time though for ARA. The Arrows looking to kill this game off. They need a goal for that to happen. Making all the 5 changes, in Ritu comes on, the number 5, and off goes Pushparani Chanu. The number 20 replaced by the 18, Lakra. Here's Martina applying pressure on Madhubala and always having an upper hand on the opposition. Martina. Shanmuga Priya. Bad touch, allowing Naketa to clear. Ritu just forcing Poonam for that sliding challenge. And so just a minute remaining on the clock. And they got to hurry things up. As ARA FC, Nisha. Through the middle is Kiran. Beautifully cut off by Priyanka. Priyanka with the forward ball towards Naurem. Priyanka Devi. She is one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Priyanka Devi. Oh, that's game, set, match. 3-1 for the Arrows. And they have made sure they are going home with full 3 points from the capital ground. And in search of that equalizer, keeping a high line in defense, ARA FC, and beautifully chipping the ball. Getting in behind was Priyanka Devi Naurem, timing her run to perfection, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and scores her 9th goal of this competition. And it's 3-1 for the Arrows. Also injured herself in the process. 24 goals scored by the Arrows in this competition. They conceded only 6. This is their 9th game. Only 2 more rounds remaining after this. A win will take them to 19 points. Will be it stretched out. Still smiles on the face of the players. They are happy with their effort this evening. So that's the full-time whistle. here at the Capital Ground. And the Indian Arrows picking up full 3 points. A late goal in the first half from the number 9 Muskan, and a late goal in the second half as well, coming from the number 10 Priyanka Naurem, and assuring that the Arrows are going home with full 3 points from this game. And great fight in the first half, punctured by that late goal from Muskan. Since then, the ARAFC side looked disjointed. And so full time at the Battalion Ground as well. Gokulam Kerala defeating Sirvadam Sports Club by 4-0, cementing their place right at the top of the table. And so the Malabarians, they move on to 27 points, 3 points clear of Sethu Madurai. Sethu will be playing next against SSB. That game is also going to be live on Eurosport from the Kalinga Stadium. And today's hero of the match is the number 14 Santosh, and she is handed a check of 5,000 rupees, sponsored by Hero Motorcorp Limited. These are the match stats. 71-29. Ball possession, 11 shots taken by the Arrows, 7 on target. Committing 4 fouls, ARAFC. Both the teams with 1 yellow card each. ARAFC winning 4 corners, none by the Arrows. 6 shots taken by RIFC in this game. And Nisha with 2, Anju with 1, Kiran with 1, Kamini Munda with 1, and Naketa with 1 as well. And 11 shots taken by the Indian Arrows. Apurna Narzari with 6, Naurem Priyanka with 2, Sunita Munda, Thakcham Martina, and Muskan Suba with 1 shots each. And now let's have a look at the fouls committed by RIFC in this game. Nisha with 2, Kiran and Manisha with 1 each. Three fouls committed by the Arrows in this game in total. Not the Sunita Munda and Parmila in that list. And now let's have a look at the goals. Beginning with Muskan's strike at the stroke of half time. This is how things started here at the Capital Ground this evening. Apurna Narzari, a wonderful ball finding Muskan, and she makes it 1-0. This was the second goal. Parmila with a long bursting run, squaring it beautifully towards Apurna Narzari, and she makes it 2-1. And this was the goal scored by Shraddhanjali Panda. A goalkeeping error from Adrija. And ARAFC pulling one back. That did give them some kind of hope, which was punctured by the late strike from the number 10, Priyanka Naurem Devi. And so at full time here at the Capital Ground, it's ARAFC 1, Indian Arrows 3. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye from the Capital Ground.